it says if I had an hour to solve a problem, the 55 minutes determining the question to ask. All right, hang on, guys. You think we're good?
Back on.
All right. That's awesome. So we're back on. Look, we can delete that slide. And we're good. So anyway, Albert Einstein, this quote, if I had an hour to solve a problem, my life depended on the solution. It's been the first 55 minutes to determine the proper question to ask. First off, if your life depended on it, that's a little risky. But, 55 minutes. But that's pretty powerful, determining the proper question to ask. For once I knew the proper question, I could solve the problem in less than 5 minutes.
I like it.
What does that mean to you? What does that mean to y'all? You've seen this before, right?
Yeah.
Powerful.
I think it does. We try to go to solutions too quickly.
Try to go to solutions too quickly, right?
Sometimes, rather, you got a client with a problem, and you just want to swoop in and solve. You got a relationship issue, and you feel like you know what they should do, and instead of like diving in towards the solution right away, being curious, helping them get there by asking good questions. Not questions that you already know the answer to, that you're trying to lead them to, but just really digging in, I think that's what he's going for here.
That's right. The questions that you already know the answer to, those are not very nice questions. Yeah. Somebody said once, if you could put, I won't use the term, but I'll change it to idiot. If you could put idiot at the end of a question, then it's probably one that you already know the answer to, and you're just asking it to prove a point.
Yeah. That's not helpful.
Yeah. Did you get your slides done today, idiot? Right?
Yeah.
Very nice. Sorry, Hunter. Woo! That would have escalated fast. All right. So gratitude. So I'm grateful for the sound working. I'm grateful for the State of the Union today. We got that coming.
That's fun. Yeah.
Do a little overview of how Village did in 2020. Which, by the way, man, y'all killed it.
Y'all did great.
But I'm going to leave it at that because it's exciting. There's some good stuff.
It's Valentine's Day this week. I am
really
grateful for that.
Really
Chance for you to show those in your life.
I don't like being pushed around, and I feel like I get forced to do things on Valentine's Day. I just want to celebrate a day early.
You're approaching it all the wrong way. It's an opportunity, Zach, for you to come through. I get the double whammy. My wife's birthday is February 13th.
Oh. So
every year, the double whammy.
So you can't just do it both on the same day?
I tried that, and it didn't go so well early on.
What do y'all think of Valentine's Day? Do you like it? Is it good? Am I being a negative Nelly?
I think you are. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
The silence.
Celebrating love, Zach?
I do love celebrating love. I just don't like being forced to do it on a specific day. I want to work on my own agenda. All right.
Because you normally deliver flowers to your wife every day.
Every now and then I do it randomly.
That's good.
Yeah. I also try to solve my wife's problems without asking the right questions. So maybe I should not do that on Valentine's Day because that doesn't always work so well. But
so good luck with that.
Good luck with that. So education. So we'll send out Teddy's update in a little bit via YouTube on a link. But we got a State of the Union today, and then there's a Thrive chat tomorrow. Sales meeting next week. Village Headshot Day. If you still have a purple background on your Village Headshot, please get a new one. Y'all are beautiful people, handsome people, and we want to show it off. And I've gotten significantly grayer in the last 2 years, but it's been good. It's good gray, and
wisdom.
And it's wisdom, and so I need to update it every year because I look different. But Franklin, I'm not sure if we're doing a Franklin sales meeting. Angela will check in on that. And then check in the pricing pros class. But Teddy will give you a little video update. We'll send that out in an email with a YouTube link. So rates still low, no change from last week, 2.625%. Repeat it with me, 2.625, 30-year fixed.
Let's go.
Let's go, February 2nd. Oh, that actually was, you know what? That might have been last week's rate. So I'll double check that. But we did get the.
They're the same. I already checked.
They're the same. There you go. They're the same. So February or January market update. So average price. We've got a bunch of these on the VRS market, but I've got Williamson and Davidson. So I'm just flipping back and forth between these two because look at the price, the average price, sales price difference between Williamson and Davidson. Davidson is $445. Williamson is $732. And this is month over month, but January 2021 over January 2020 in Williamson County was up 30% in pricing. Now that could just be 1 month. Maybe there were a lot more expensive houses that sold that month, so that doesn't mean the whole market is up that amount. But that's significant.
That's the sales that closed.
That's the sales that closed.
Right.
Yeah. And Davidson is up 14% from
So don't tell your
same month a year
clients
ago.
that the market, the real estate market's up 30% in Williamson County. That would not be accurate.
That would not be accurate, right? That's just showing that I think this is
closed sales.
Yeah. Anytime you look at data, you always have to understand the story, right? That's really, data's there to tell a story. It's not about throwing out numbers. It's about understanding the why behind it. So average days on market, 60 in Davidson, 48 in Williamson. That dropped down in Williamson County. New listing inventory is up a little bit in Davidson and is down a lot in Williamson. So Franklin Williamson agents, go get those listings. We need them.
I heard that there was one listing in the Brentwood High School school district under $1 million right now. Just one.
Wow. Y'all should verify that.
Yeah.
And if you've got anybody that is available to list a house below that,
Yeah.
call your sellers today. That's huge. And that's actually kind of a cool little stat. Like you can make those stats up, right? Go look and say,
Just did.
I mean, not really make them up, but make them up in a good. But you could put a price limit on something and say, hey, how many houses are available in a certain school district or a certain zip code under this price point? That's compelling.
Yeah.
When it's single digit numbers, and again, if it's double digits, just lower that price point. Makes for good discussion.
Yeah.
Good clickbait for your social media. Total properties for sale sold. So sales are up a little bit in Williamson, down a little bit, but really inventory is still down. So we got to get more listings. We're going to see that coming up every spring. The market goes up and up and up until about May or June, and then we peak out and we get maxed out in usually about June or so in terms of inventory and closings. So we got Robbie Stone with us.
Hold up, Robbie.
Bringing it home from the east side.
It's true.
What?
No, I haven't been over
What?
here.
All right, so one of the things I learned one time in when you're talking to people is always ask people an easy question first, because if you ever bring somebody up, they might be nervous. I know you're not nervous because you don't get nervous.
We all get nervous.
Although you did ask me or mention, you said, you didn't send me any questions beforehand, and I said, I know, because I got some doozies here. But I, so what is your name?
Robert Hamilton Stone.
There you go. So you know that, all right? Easy question. Easy
My
question.
mom's maiden name. Yeah.
Hamilton, that's great. So,
Or nobody calls me that. Robbie Stone for sure.
but you are a ham.
Can be a him. Yeah.
That's right. We're going to talk about that. All right. So you've been in the business for how long?
July will be 6 years actually.
Six?
Crazy.
That's actually. It feels like you've been doing this for,
Longer.
yeah, like a decade or more.
Thank you.
I mean, seriously, I'm 6 years. Surely it's longer than that. So what is your? Man, you're doing really well for 6 years. That's awesome. So what is your background before that?
Degree in sports medicine actually.
Okay.
I was going to be a doctor. Did not want to do that, but then moved out to LA and pursued the whole acting, performing thing. Have always done music. My dad's a musician, and so that was his profession growing up. So moved here kind of to do that, and did commercials, music videos, worked in the restaurant world, of course, which is the best training I ever got.
To work in the restaurant world.
Oh my gosh, for every job, but especially real estate, because it's sales, and you're interacting with so many different people. Some treat you great, some treat you like garbage, and you got to learn how to work with it.
Yeah.
So I did that for 6-7 years, and it was hands down the best training for this job that I could have had.
That's cool. So the video piece, you've taken that into your real estate because you put out these videos. If y'all have not seen Robbie's videos,
It's
I don't know where
been
you
wild.
find them. They come up on my news feed or I get emailed them or whatever. But they're amazing.
Thank you.
And you'll do them for listings. You'll do them for other fun stuff. And so you've got. Do you ever sing in them or do you just?
Oh yeah.
Because I thought I've seen you sing, but sometimes you have other people sing.
Yeah.
Or
So
maybe
my
you're
friend-
singing and they're lip syncing your voice.
They're not. No, the girl parts are not me. Yeah, my friend Mia is a brilliant performer, and we kind of did the first. It was sort of a house tour for a problem listing that I had, and yeah, we just did a parody version of a Disney tune. And
Which tune was that? Do you remember?
A whole new
world, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a whole new house.
Yeah. And she was the only one who sang in that, but we wrote the lyrics and then I shot and filmed and edited it.
All right, so
and
you
all
go to
that.
your seller and you say, hey, we have this idea, your house isn't selling, so I'm going to shoot a music video and I'm going to sing.
I do not pitch that to everyone.
Okay, you got to kind of know your audience.
I don't know that I asked permission either, which I probably should have, but
Well,
they
you
were
do,
game
do
for
it and then you say, hey, here's
this
what I
marketing
did.
piece.
And did you ever sell the house?
Yeah, I did.
There you
Finally.
go. Good.
Yeah.
So somebody got a whole new world.
Yeah.
Whole new home.
It's a great house.
See, it works.
They've got some good equity now. I'll say that.
That's good. Yeah, they knew what they were getting into. So that was obviously thinking outside of the box, but you were using your talents and your experience on that. You also have do you have a calendar?
That is a new addition to my marketing.
That is a new
efforts.
addition. So your calendar. So if you've seen the videos or seen the calendar, you are in these calendars and you send these out to your clients and you have dressed up. I mean, it's one of those things that like if the wrong personality tried to do it, it would come off totally wrong.
Oh, and there was that risk.
Yeah.
For sure. I was like, this will go horribly wrong or it will be hilarious.
But you nailed it.
It worked.
There may or may not have been a Mariah Carey moment.
Oh, they're 100% Christmas. Yeah, you can't do Christmas without Mariah. So she was December. So it was basically just, there's this app called Face Swap, and I put my face on. We did music albums the first year, which was last 2020's calendar. And then the 2021 calendar was movie posters. And it's just my stupid face on every album cover or movie poster character.
And then you make a little calendar of that for your clients. But it's funny. Like you make it. I mean, it's.
I hope. I
It's
tried
super
to
funny.
make it funny.
So creative outside of the box. So what is your big? You've been in the business for a while. What's your biggest pet peeve that agents, when you're working with, not a village agent usually, but when you're working with an agent on the other side, what's your biggest pet peeve that they do?
I think communication is huge. Like, the most frustrating thing in the world is when you need information about a house or trying to reach an agent and they're not available. And it makes me crazy because I'm like, that is our job, is to provide information and sell people's homes. It makes me mad for my clients, but also for theirs, because I know that their client doesn't know probably that they're not being communicative. So I'd say that's a big frustration. And also I try really hard to be very communicative. So it just feels a little disrespectful when
Yeah.
others aren't.
Is that like not calling you back in an hour or a day?
No, I'm reasonable. It's like never getting an answer.
Yeah.
Like I will literally email or call someone and text them and you never get a response.
It is a wonder how people actually get clients when they.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's maddening. But they're doing it, and I guess they're right for somebody, and hopefully that house sells.
So that's your biggest pet peeve. When do you have like an awesome experience with another agent? How does it go? Obviously, the opposite of that. Good communication.
Good
What
communication, of course, but also like a collaborative spirit. I think that's huge. We're all. Oh, and that's another thing that's frustrating is when it's like you're against each other. Like
Yeah.
we're not against each other in this industry. It's we have to work together. And so when everyone's goal is to get the deal done the most effective and efficient way possible and help each other out, like I feel like we should be a team. So I approach any other agent I'm working with that from the get-go. Is like, hey, we're not here to butt heads and make this complicated. That's not our
Yeah.
job. It's to make it seamless for our client.
If your client wants to sell a house, their client wants to buy a house.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's
If you
it's
fully
pretty
get in the way of the
straightforward.
deal, everybody loses.
Yeah, and there's complications, of course, and it's learning, how to communicate in conflict and handle things professionally and maintain composure. But
So much stuff you learned at waiting tables.
oh, God, for real, I think ask any prior server or current server who is in this industry, and they will probably say the same thing, that it's the best training they've had.
That's awesome.
And it's totally like destroys your pride in many ways. Like you cannot go into a restaurant and serve and be boastful. And I think that will benefit anyone, no matter what industry you're in. It's just humility and approaching things with kindness and graciousness and understanding and humility and being a problem solver. I mean, it literally hits so many things.
That's good. Well, cool. Well, we are, I'm not going to take any questions right now because some are going to come on the chat, but if you all have questions or want to learn more about Mr. Robbie Hamilton Stone here, reach out to him because you're a wealth of information and you've got a huge heart, and I'm so grateful to work with you and to have you at Village.
Absolutely.
So,
Same.
thanks for joining us.
Of course.
So it's funny, we have this microphone right here, and somebody was telling me last time that I was a loud clapper. And I get that a lot. I do have this extraordinarily, oddly loud clap. But when I clap, the microphone is right there, so sorry for
golf clap
online. I'm going to golf clap this time. Connolly Corner, here we go.
Oh man, I told you we got good news today. So, COVID news, Zach.
All right, what do we got?
All right, the 7-day average of cases has dropped from 220,000 cases to 120.
That's huge.
That's
almost
over
cut in half.
30% drop. Additionally, we've got hospitalizations going down over 20%. So that's great news. We're really focused on getting schools reopening because, as you can see, just from some of the local crime that's been going on here, just getting kids back into school, so important. And I know we have agents here who are juggling homeschool and that. So
it is a lot.
That started to kind of pick up momentum in the last couple of weeks. The other thing that's picking up momentum is on the vaccine front.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think we'll really see that ramp up even more towards the end of March. So it's humming along. We've got about over 30 million vaccines done to the kind of targeted in the most elderly population and our first responders. The other good news is that we've hit the highest point in terms of people saying that when the vaccine is available for them, they're going to take it. So over 61% of people polled now say as soon as they can get the vaccine, they'll take it. And that will have a big impact on the herd immunity and kind of getting over this as soon as possible. They're going to roll out NFL football stadiums to use as staging ground to get more vaccines done. You know who won the Super Bowl?
Not Kansas City.
Not Kansas City. Not the Chicago
Tom Brady
Bulls.
team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
There you go.
Which kind of a blowout. I actually didn't watch the end of it. I watched some of it, and when it got to be, it was like double digits to single digits.
So, all right. Oh, and then I thought this was fun. So companies are also stepping up, and they're saying, "Hey, if you'll get a vaccine, we'll give you $100." And
that's pretty cool.
They realize just kind of the importance of let's get our people protected from this and get everything moving forward. So, in addition to Kroger, Dollar General, Aldi, Trader Joe's, all these. We got these frontline workers, people that are interacting with the outside a good bit. They're really focused on getting those people vaccinated. So we talk about the market.
Talk about the market.
Why do we talk about the market, Zach?
Well, because the market is a global picture or a national picture of the economy, which affects our buyers and sellers.
Yes, exactly right. And it's always kind of looking ahead 12 to 18 months, right? So the stock market in particular, it's not what's happening now. They're looking out into the future. And so far, this is just for this year, just January really. We're up 7.5% on the NASDAQ. The S&P's up 3.5%. So overall, the market's saying the next 12 to 18 months, we should continue to see this recovery.
Gold is down. If you need to buy gold for your Valentine's, that probably doesn't have an effect, huh? No.
Well, yeah, gold is down a little bit this year. It's up though over the last 12 months.
I'll tell my wife I can't buy her gold.
Yeah,
it's too expensive.
Janet Yellen, you know who Janet Yellen is? She is the Treasury Secretary,
right.
which she's like the principal advisor to the president on all economic matters, and she was making the rounds this weekend, Sunday, on all the talk shows, and painting a good picture for the economy, but also the importance of this next round of stimulus, which is going into place, and what it dovetails with the latest job report. Remember, jobs are just so important to our industry in particular, and you see the fall off last March, April, and then we've been rising pretty dramatically since then until the last couple of months really has hovered and stalled. Our latest job report, we added 49,000 jobs, which sounds like a lot, but the expectation was more like double that number, to continue to see the unemployment rate go down. The unemployment rate did shrink a little bit from 6.7 to 6.3%, but a lot of that was because
People just
people
quit looking, right?
Yeah, so people stopped
So
looking for
the jobs looking at this data is a little more accurate, right?
Yeah. So the thought is get the stimulus package going, and that will keep the economy kind of heated up and more jobs.
But savings is so some people are savings is at an all-time high, I heard, as well. I don't know if you've read into that, but so people, I mean, there was one question of you want to give the stimulus so that people go and spend it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that helps.
Make sure it gets into the right hands, the people that really.
Yeah, you need to spend it, but there's some, the savings rates are stronger.
Is this a crazy amount of money? We're talking about almost 1.9 trillion, $2 trillion.
Yeah.
That's 1,000 billions. Twice.
2,000
billions.
A lot of billions.
It's a lot of money.
Who's this guy?
Richard Florida. You ever read the book, The Rise of the Creative Class? He's been studying cities and urbanization for like 40 years. He's been around, and he's kind of the de facto expert in these areas. So he's shifted his research to how cities have responded and will respond during like past pandemics and plagues and things like that. And he was on a big roundtable call last week with the Business Journal, like the Nashville Business Journal. There's the Nashville Business Journal for every big city,
right?
And so we were a part of that. And some of his, I thought the interesting comments he made was, cities are used to competing for companies to move to their cities, right? They get these incentives, they get tax breaks, and you're trying to get these big corporate headquarters to move to your city. I mean, Nashville's been a big part of that, and we're still vying for Oracle to come in. But increasingly, cities are realizing, just with a more mobile workforce, that instead of just competing for corporations, they really need to be competing for new work for people, and have an attractive place for people to live. And so you're seeing kind of some different winners emerge from that. What cities are more livable? What cities have, are friendly on the cost side, friendly on the tax side, friendly on the climate side. And so, it was an interesting way to think about it. And then on the next slide, he was asked, name a couple of winners that you expect. And he said, I think New York will come back just fine. I think San Francisco will come back. Those have been the two most hit. Impacted. Mm-hmm. He mentions Austin being a huge winner, and then Nashville will be a big winner. So, of all the cities out there, this was a national event that he was on to mention Nashville in that first batch of cities. I thought was really exciting.
This is just a quote from him speaking. I love it.
Yeah. Finally,
is that the Cumberland?
That is the Cumberland River.
Ooh.
And this is River North.
All right.
So River North, we're talking the area on the east side of the river, north, kind of around the Topgolf area.
So that's Topgolf right there with the spikes, right?
Yes.
So that gives you a good bearing.
Yeah. So it's a 40-acre chunk, and Metro Council paved the way for a $265 million mixed-use development. There are some requirements that they have to start within 90 days of all their approvals, which should be coming later this year. It's also important because there's rumors that kind of the Oracle either moving their headquarters or a big chunk of their headquarters to Nashville could be a part of the office component to this mixed-use development. So there'll be apartments, for sale housing.
So this has been talked about. You've seen different renderings. I mean, some of the renderings that came out years ago were, dozens of skyscrapers. But is this one developer that is doing this?
Yeah. So Monroe Investment Partners is the developer who owns the 40 acres. They've gone to the city and worked out an agreement. So basically, what's in it for the city is the current taxes on this land is about $146,000 annually. When we finish, it'll be over $5 million annually.
Easily.
So just kind of a recurring to the tax base.
That's great. Another view of that?
Another view kind of from the north side looking back towards the bridges. You can see off to the left the football stadium, Nissan Stadium, and downtown. So
very good.
Lots of good stuff.
That is good. Cool. I didn't have a tip of the week this week. So 1099 update. You should have gotten them. This was coming into you by mail. So I know there were some blank ones and things that were sent. That was not. Don't blame Susan. There was an issue that our provider. I don't know what happened, but they were sending out blank things. So so we got them mailed, and they should be in your mailbox. If not already, then this week. So that's good. See how everybody did. 40X, we're launching those next week. I've gotten a ton of signups. A couple of people I know we had an issue with the form. If you aren't sure if you signed up kind of a few weeks ago and you signed up again, no big deal. And
we'll get you in. We got a spot for you.
We'll make sure we got a spot for you. So coming soon. ComingSoon.villagetn.com. But tune in to the sales meeting. The State of the Union, which is going to start in about 30 minutes, because we have got some really awesome coming soon news. So some of the benefits of the merger, there's some pretty neat
stuff.
Pretty neat, clear cooperation, coming soon stuff coming. And then, but anyway, for now, put your stuff there. And then you also have gotten a Facebook page link that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about
that.
But there is a.
These are teasers. These are just
teaser.
teasers.
There's a new Facebook group. It's private. So this isn't something that you can invite other people outside Village and Parks to. And it's just for your coming soon listing. So it's not the place for
open house needs
or a buyer need or
that's still Village exclusive.
An inspector.
Great for that.
Village exclusive is great for that. This is just a place I can come and look at all the coming soons across all the agencies.
That's right. I can't wait. You've got some good stuff. I'm super excited about it. Yeah. So, and I can't wait to tell the Village agents how well they did this year, because y'all killed it. So, good work. Takeaways, we're going to keep this meeting short and sweet, give you all a break. So in 30 minutes, at 10:30, or in about 28 minutes, we're going to come back here and do the State of the Union.
And this is a separate link. It's a Zoom link. You should have gotten it in email from Jeremy this morning.
And we can make sure it's on the Village calendar as well. But yeah, separate Zoom link. So we'll be doing a little screen sharing, but it'll be fun to see everybody's faces.
And if you want to stay here, we'll do it from right here.
For anybody in here, we can stay here. You'll see it up here. That's it. Thank y'all. Golf clap. Thanks, Robert.